Welcome back to the kitchen. And if you tuned in late, my very special guest is Rhonda Matthews from the Clemson University Cooperative Extension. And she's already has some great recipes. Now this is what?
Well, we're going to do our winter squash puree. When we first started, we put all our ingredients
in. It's been cooking.
Brought it up to the boil, and it's just been simmering away.
Okay.
Now they're fork tender, and we're going to go ahead and finish that recipe.
All right.
So if you don't mind, I'm going to give you
yours.
Yours. That's right. And we're going to pull the lid.
You know, here the very first part of the program, this has an apple in it, and it has
winter squash, which today we used acorn squash. And then some carrots.
And they're all cut up in bite-sized pieces.
That's right. And so all we're going to do now that it's tender is we'll pull it off the eye. Now, if you'll come back here with me and hold that over the sink, we're going to get rid of some of the hot water.
Ooh.
All righty. And just drain it off. There we go.
That'll
get it. That'll be good.
Okay, here.
And so now that's perfect. And so all we want to do now is we're going to load this into our food processor. Of course, you can do this with a blender, or you can do it with, whoops, that carrot ran away. Or you can do it with the stick immersion blender and grind it up. There we go. And all this is going to go in.
And all this it was just steeped in boiling water. There were nothing else in it.
Yep. So you're getting the true nutrition of the vegetable here. You're not adding to or hiding it in any way, and the natural sweetness is going to come through. The other thing that we're going to add in is a few tablespoons of butter. That'll bring it to a silky smooth kind of texture. We will put on our, there we go, put on our lid.
Want this.
And we're going to puree. See that beautiful orange color coming through. All right, beautiful. Look at that wonderful, smelly, yummy steam coming out. So we're going to add that to our plate.
And that is kale and the wonderful meatloaf.
That's
and look
right.
at this. It's really quite elegant.
Very, very beautiful, orangey yellow color and just scrumptious.
And these things are packed with good nutrition.
That's right.
And if you use winter vegetables now, when they are in season, you save money.
That's right. So
That's
look what
beautiful.
If you went to a restaurant and bought that plate of food, you'd pay dearly for it. But look how quickly we prepared it at home. And you're right, the nutrition is through the roof.
I'm going to put this down here because it's so pretty. I want everybody to be able to see it. There. And that's a complete meal.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that. So I have to share this with you about that meatloaf recipe. I really would like to encourage your viewers to write in and get that. As I was driving up, I dropped my child off at daycare, and he could smell the one that was prepared ahead of time in the car with us. He didn't know what it was. He said, "What have you got in here? I want to eat it."
So now we have it.
That's right. So apparently the meatloaf passes the 8-year-old boy test. But
now this is a protein bite.
That's right. So here's the other yumminess that I wanted to share with your viewers today. And so this is a high protein little snack, or if you want to do a breakfast on the go, it would fit that bill as well. This can easily be made in a food processor or in anything that'll mix really quickly. You can put it in the stand mixer as well. So when you start this recipe, this is the first step you want to do.
What is it?
That is almonds plus some oatmeal, just ground down to powder. That's all it is. And then this is the next conglomerate that you put together.
This says 1 1/2 cups of quick cooking oats.
That's right. So those are the quick oats, typical. And this is actually store brand. I wouldn't dare pay premium price for premium brand if not necessary.
And it says 1/2 cup of nut butter,
peanut butter, hazelnut butter, almond butter, soy butter.
Most people would probably use peanut butter.
It's the least expensive.
And that's what kids love.
That's right. You want a cup of dried fruit. I used raisins in this, but if it's dried and if it's fruit, a total of 1 cup is what you're looking for. The next ingredient is a 1/4 cup of honey. That helps it kind of come together nicely.
So you've got all this already
That's what's in there. Now,
Okay.
there's a few flavor punches that
All
you
right.
add to it, and that's just a little bit of almond extract, a little bit of cinnamon, 2 tablespoons of coconut, shredded coconut, and 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds, and you're ready. That's what this is right here. Put that in the mixer or put that in the food processor and just blend, and you can see it'll
And you
come
don't
together.
bake it, you don't do anything.
Absolutely not. I made
And then,
this.
wait a minute now, back up a minute. Do you put this in the refrigerator, or do you let it stay out on the counter?
You can let it sit on the counter, but if I had layer upon layer, I would separate them with some parchment or some wax paper and keep them in an airtight container on the counter.
And then, so they do not have to be refrigerated.
So this is a great one for if you need to travel and take a snack at church, at ladies group, at whatever, kids group.
At
This
work.
is one. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's something, if your children come home from school, rather than have the colas and the junk food,
That's right.
if you have something like this at eye level,
That's right.
and they'll reach for it.
That's right. This is also a recipe. If you want to add a little extra nutrition on top of this begs for a glass of milk to go with it. And those that eat this, well, that's usually the first thing they say. Where's the milk?
I tried one during the break. They're delicious.
They are.
So now let's back up a minute.
All right.
This is 1 1/2 cups of quick cooking oats.
That's right.
And 1 cup of dried fruit, and it can be anything. You put
I did raisins today.
All right. And then you have a 1/2 cup of peanut butter.
That's right.
Or what other kind of butter would you want in there?
If you've got a nut allergy, you may want to switch out to
Something
one that's
else.
more
Okay.
agreeable with you.
And then you have a 1/4 cup of honey.
That's right.
And a 1/2 teaspoon of almond extract.
That's right.
And a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And you've got 2 tablespoons of coconut. Now, some of this, you can play with this.
Absolutely.
And if you don't want to put the coconut in, you could leave it out.
Again, you're
See?
right.
And then she has 2 tablespoons of sunflower seeds.
That's right.
And that's all you do, and just mix it up.
Yeah, and when you put it in the mixer, you put it in the food processor, you let it go until it'll hold together. And you can see this will hold together if you pinch it a little bit. You roll it into balls about the size of a large marble. And when you after you've got them made, we put it in our crumbs that we started out with just to give it a coat. This keeps them from sticking together once you start put them into storage, and they're ready.
You just put them out on the counter.
That's right.
In a covered container, and say to your family, here, if you're hungry, here's something really good.
Right, and this when you eat these, you'll immediately recognize this is not something you would eat lots and lots and lots of. These are very dense. They're a mouthful of flavor in the biggest way. I can't stress that enough. So it doesn't take many.
I'm thinking not just of children, but senior citizens.
Oh, listen.
This would be a boost, an energy boost.
We use this recipe when we demonstrate things at demonstrate good nutrition, and we talk about healthy eating, and we go into a group in the community. This is one of our go-to recipes. And I have used it with senior citizens at the senior center. I've had coworkers use it when they go to the school with kindergartners. It passes the test with all of them. They beg for the recipe. They want to go home and make it there. It's really good.
And it's something so simple, even your kids could help you make it, make a game out of it.
Absolutely.
And don't say to them, eat this, it's good for you. Never,
That's the death nail.
never.
So,
Say, this is the best junk food we ever had. And
Oh.
they'll love it.
Well, at Christmas time, I made this as part of my Christmas candy. This was the first one gone. So, if it's got to sit next to something chocolate and this is the first one that the container's empty, that's pretty good endorsement.
Well, this is absolutely a beautiful folder. And it's tasty meals for the family. Thanks to Rhonda Matthews and Clemson University, and they're free. And if you would like this, they're all in there. All you have to do, if you can send us a self-addressed stamped envelope, it saves us so much time, and send it to the Peggy Denny Show, Post Office Box 1616, Greenville, South Carolina, 29602. And put the number on there, because we have hundreds of recipes. And one of these days we're going to do a recipe book. But right now, the recipe you need to put down is 853. And we'll send it to you right away. or you can click on peggydenny.com, and we try to keep up with that so that it will be there for you. But I think these are exceptional because
they're very.
Everything in there is packed with nutrition, and it's the food we need,
and
all of us.
In season, you can get it locally. You know, it's never cheaper and it's never tastier than when you can buy it local and in season.
And this makes this recipe makes quite a few, doesn't it?
Gosh, you can get, I would say, easily 40 to 45, about that size.
No bake protein bites.
Right, you don't have to heat up the oven, so everything works out.
That's something that I think even the children could get into making.
That's right.
And then when they make it themselves, you know they're going to eat it.
That's right.
Right?
This is true.
Rhonda, you are a joy to be with.
Oh, thank you. I always love coming to visit with you.
For all your talent and everything you bring to us when you come. We appreciate it.
Always enjoy it.
And we thank Clemson University, the Cooperative Extension, and Rhonda teaches there as well. But wherever you are, there probably has a university with an extension. Avail yourself of the knowledge that these people have. And wherever you are, we wish you good health, and we'll see you next time.